Can you describe season 2 with an emoji? And the follow-up question is, what have each of your characters taught you about yourselves?
An emoji, sort of like the pop, like the explosion emoji, I would say. And then what was the second part of the question?
What has your character taught you about yourself?
I think it's a really, really good question, actually. I think a lot of the times, Percy doesn't think a lot of stuff through. He kind of just, the first thing he hears, he goes, okay, and he just kind of goes for it. And I think that's something that I also do a lot. I've realized, sometimes I should just think about stuff a lot more before I just do it. You know what I mean? Especially because, I do a lot of, before I started acting, I'd always, I was super into doing flips and, a lot of, I'd always, the second that someone said, let's do something dangerous or, something that you probably get hooked on, I was like, yeah, 100%. And now it's I kind of think about, okay, there's an entire production that needs me not to have 2 broken legs, So that's been a huge thing for me.
Yeah, I think for me, Tyson's really taught me that openness and sensitivity is a superpower of its own type. I think, again, growing up and becoming a man, so much of who you are, I think, is based off of becoming responsible and taking care of other people. But you also learn pretty quickly on that trust is something that kind of is given over time, and that walls are usually put up pretty early on. And with Tyson, it's just not the case at all. He's very, very open, very, very loving from the moment that he meets anybody, and willing to see the best in everyone. And I think it's on the surface such an easy kind of answer, but I think stepping into that space for so long and living in that space and finding how vulnerable that made me feel and how much strength I think that it takes to kind of be in that space consistently was something that was really, really cool. Something I was really grateful for, and hopefully something that I also take into my future as well.
It's a way better answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's it like trying to act with one eyeball?
So
how
easy.
do you...
they make it so easy for me, honestly. All the stuff was in prep was figuring out the physicality. So it's just with one eye, it's just okay, your depth perception's off, so I'm moving more carefully. It doesn't look like a smooth human kind of movement, whether especially if he's running or walking. Tyson run was something that was noted on set. So it's just being more careful of everything. Your periphery's off. It's just so much more limited. So when there's sounds, when there's action, when there's danger, it's more of a full body turn. There's more of a reaction to it. Just to be able to actually be able to take it in. And so once those habits were formed, it really was just everything was emotional. On the day, it was just looking at everybody the way that I normally do, connecting with everybody the way I normally do, and letting the incredible team that we have take care of all of the actual CGI and eye aspects. Yeah, yeah.
Walter, I have a question. How do you balance Percy's sarcasm and humor with this serious part of the journey that he's about to go on?
I think, in a way that's his defense mechanism. For so long, he's, been from school to school, and I think, the sarcasm is kind of a way to make light of the situation that he's in, and I think he kind of takes that with him everywhere he goes, So, and I think it kind of, I don't know, I always like it because I always get the funny, sarcastic line in the middle of a really tense situation, which is, you're kind of, when you have to do something, when the scene is the entire day, to be super stressed out and terrified and energy at 100%, it's nice to have that little one-liner in there, because for a second you get to relax and then go back into it,
What was it like for you guys creating this brotherly bond on screen?
Really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we both approach the work very similarly, which is such a huge part of it. And I think we both love the characters and the story enough that really bonded us from the beginning. Outside of that, again, he's one of my favorite human beings on the planet. He's he cares about his people as much as Percy does. He is a protector, he's a leader. He shows up on set, he's prepared, he's ready to conquer the world, and he never puts his foot out of step. He's also very sarcastic, which I love. And so on a Disney production, it allows me to feel free to relax myself more, which is great. But no, it was so easy, and again, hopefully, I think from the way that you've talked about it so far, it seems like it was pretty mutual, which is good.
100%.
Yeah.
Talking about you guys on set, who breaks character the most?
Like, who's most like their character?
Who breaks
Breaks
character?
Who breaks? I think I'm gonna say Leah, just because I think occasionally I like to just like say something different, and when I'm doing like a scene with her, I'll just say something that always catches her off guard. Actually, who would you say breaks character the most?
I don't know. I mean,
I break character good enough. Do I?
I don't think so. I think most of the cast is pretty good at like staying locked in. I mean, off take, like we'll all be gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like joking around as much as possible, especially like Arian and Walker and I.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the boys in general, we like to have a different type of fun. But like on screen, like everybody's like locked in, and we have like an amazing acting coach that I think would get on our
He gets on us.
get on us like pretty fast if we didn't focus up. So yeah, it was pretty good.